I'm living my life. Lena, you're not getting Nathan. How about that? Dang. Hey, y'all. So, it's been 7 days. Go in your room, Elena. No one wants to hear that. It's been 7 days since I had this little chicken nugget. Her sweeping. She milk drunk. I am breastfeeding. Her name, if you haven't caught it, is Amara Rose Ellis. And yeah, so that's her name, Amara Rose Ellis. Alyssa, why are you eating them strawberries like that? Stop, or throw them away, or eat them. Pick one.
Eat them.
Okay, so eat them right, please. So, let's get to the birthing story, right? I was supposed to have a scheduled C-section. Scheduled C-sections are basically not scheduled C-sections. I was supposed to know when I was going to have her about a month ago. And the doctor that was supposed to do it didn't take my insurance. I called my doctor and let them know. And they didn't call me back for about a week or so. I was calling back to back. Nobody answered. At that point, I wanted to just go ahead and try to switch doctors, but I was already like 9 months. So a lot of doctors don't want to take on a late coming patient because then you got to do all the paperwork and do all the back history. And I don't blame them. So I ran into that issue. Then they finally called me back and told me that they would let me know that following Monday when I was going to go in to get the surgery. They never called me. Actually, it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday they were supposed to call me. That's Alyssa. Friday they were supposed to call me. No phone call Friday. So I waited till Saturday and I called them at like 2 o'clock because, you know, just trying to get them some leeway time. No call back. Sunday, they weren't in the office. Monday comes, still no call. So I called back on Tuesday. And Tuesday, they were like, well, the schedule isn't out yet. We'll call you and let you know. They said that I was supposed to be scheduled for either the 4th or the 6th. We were pushing for the 6th because her dad just wanted her to be born on the 6th, to be honest. That didn't happen. She was born October 4th. 10-4. That's what the twins keep saying. She was born October 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning. 9:24. I think. 9:24 in the morning. The C-section went fine. We went in, did our paperwork, which wasn't that much, surprisingly. Had to sign a few papers, sign over your life, you know, all of that. They told me when they were willing me back, actually, they hooked me up to all the monitors and stuff, and come to find out I was already having contractions, which I figured I was. So they had me on the monitor for about an hour, prepping everything for the surgery.
Yeah.
Her
Arm right there and then a little bit of the spine.
eviction notice. I got to see her on ultrasound for one last time, and then they gave me my little hat and they put him in his uniform or whatever, and we went to the back. Well, actually, I went to the back first, and I had to get my spinal, and I was so scared, y'all. Like, I hadn't done this before, but the last time it was different because it was just, you know, it was an emergency. So I guess I really wasn't thinking about the pain or afraid or trying not to be afraid. Like, my adrenaline was running so bad because I just was worried about the twins at the time. I mean, I was worried about her too, but you know, it's something totally different. So they gave me the spinal. My nurse was amazing, and I wish I would have gotten her name. Maybe I'll get that soon. I'm going to have to write her a note or something. I'm about to start crying because she was like just there, and I didn't even know this lady, but her demeanor and her helpfulness, it was just amazing. Like, she was like letting me like lay on her shoulder because he told me to like lean down, and I guess I wasn't in the right position, and she was like rubbing my arm, and she's like, it's gonna be okay, just a little bit more. And I don't know, she was just awesome. So I got the spinal. They didn't let him come in until after I got the first cut, because I heard them say, you know, all right, Dad can come in. We did the first cut. So he came in, and they started the procedure and stuff. At one point, I remember, of course, I can't remember everything, but at one point, I remember getting really, like, feeling like I was going to throw up. And they had an oxygen mask on me. And I'm like, oh my God, thinking to myself, like, I have to throw up. What am I going to do? I have to throw up. I'm going to throw up in this mask. And then what? What am I going to do? So I was like, well, maybe I should say something. This is the drugs, right? Because you should have been said something. I'm like, maybe I should say something. I'm like, it feels like I got to throw up. And she's like, oh, okay, I could just give you some medicine. It'll take 1 minute for it to go through. So she put the medicine in, and I could feel it. But she's like, just take deep breaths, calm down. That minute seemed so long. She ended up giving him like this little basin. It was a little one, like the small one that looks like a bean, like a kidney bean, one of those. And I'm like, I'm going to have to throw up in this little thing. Like, is she serious? This is not going to work. I'm like, all right, well, let me just calm down so I don't throw up. So then after a while, it wasn't a minute, it passed. And then I felt a lot of pressure. I remember feeling a lot of pressure and pulling. It felt like somebody was like looking for something, like moving and scrunching. And I'm like, and then a lot of pressure just everywhere. And then I felt like my chest was kind of heavy. What else? Then I started getting the shakes, and he was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. We were just talking about like random stuff, like, do you think she's gonna have hair, and what color her skin tone was gonna be, and just random stuff about her, and random stuff about, I don't know, the twins. Do I think that they're gonna take to her well, and you know, all that stuff. Just basically trying to get our minds off of exactly what was going on. I mean, you know, you wanted to be in the moment, but it's still surgery, like extreme surgery. So we did that. Oh, then so they broke the water, and then they said water broke at whatever time it was, which was, I'm like, I don't remember that the last time. Maybe because my water broke with Elena. But whatever. So the water broke, and then he looked on the ground. I'm like, what? He's like, there was a lot of amniotic fluid, because they told me that I did have excess amniotic fluid. And he was like, it splashed, because they gave him feet things, and he was like, I wonder what this is for. I guess he knew, but you know, you don't think that it's going to be that much liquid, but it was. So then shortly after that, she was born, and they didn't show me to her or show her to us. He like sat up and looked over, so he saw her, and I was like, is she okay? And he's like, yeah, but she's kind of gray. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, is it the amniotic fluid around her? And he was like, I don't know. And They didn't show her to me. I heard her cry, but it sounded kind of muffled. So they took her over and they're like, we're just giving her a little bit of oxygen and a little bit of heat and she's going to be okay. And I'm like, well, can he go over there? I'm like, go over there. I'm all right. Like, just go check on our baby. And they're like, well, he can't come over here right now. And then he was supposed to cut the cord, but they didn't let him. And we found out after that, well, they brung her over, they let me kiss her cheek, and then they said she swallowed a lot of amniotic fluid, so we're gonna go have to take her to the NI, and I broke down because a lot of you probably know about the twins. They were in the NICU for 2.5 months, and when they said that, I started to boo-hoo cry, but like I am now, probably worse. But I'm like, I gotta calm down because my stomach is open. They're performing a surgery. So I gotta calm down. And he's like, it's gonna be okay. They just want to monitor her for a little while. And he was like, just breathe, it's all right. And before we had went to the hospital, he asked me, he said, what song do you want to be your calm down song? And me and the twins, whenever Elena gets sick, we sing Bob Marley, Three Little Birds. And he started singing the song, and it calmed me down. Then he couldn't remember the words, which was so cute. He was just putting words together, and I was just listening. But I was able to breathe and calm down. And then he got his phone and started playing the music. And then I started singing out loud. And he said that I was really, really loud, which I don't remember. I just remember like humming the words. But clearly I probably was like really loud. But she stayed in there while I was in recovery. He said that I was in recovery for about 1.5 hours, but it went by so fast. So after recovery, in recovery, they told me that she was really hungry. They couldn't get her heart rate down because she was hungry and she was screaming bloody murder. So they were like, you have 3 options. You can either bottle feed or formula feed. You can give a breast milk that has been given to the hospital, or you can try to breastfeed. And at this point, she wasn't in the room. She was still out there with her dad and I. And my mom was in there with me. And she said, what do you think? And I was like, well, I want to breastfeed because with the twins, I wasn't able to. But I was so like sleepy and tired. And my mom, I'm like, well, if I do, you're going to have to stand right here with me. And this child, she latched on like, it was like, it was a blessing for real, because I didn't really have to even like try or nothing. Her mouth was wide open, and 7 days later, I got so much milk in this freezer, it makes no sense. And that was one of my concerns with having her, that with the twins, it was a different circumstance, first of all. But with the twins, I couldn't breastfeed them after they were in the hospital. But we were there for about 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep, 3 days. They let us go on Sunday. And we've been conjoined by the hip. She's spoiled, and that's fine. I don't care what no one says. So this is Amara. Say hi to the people, chunky butt. Oh, she was 8 pounds, 7 ounces. Yesterday we went to the doctor, and she gained back the majority of her weight. I think she only has like maybe 3 or 4 ounces left to regain. So The breastfeeding thing is going very well. She does have jaundice. Well, she had jaundice, has, whatever, but the levels weren't high enough for them to do anything. They just said, to feed her, and then when she poops and pees, it comes out. And her eyes are still a little yellow, like in the corners. And we're just waiting for that to get done. And that's about it. The twins love her to death. Like, Elena's a little Elmira-ish. So I keep reminding her, soft, slowly, give her a kiss slow. You gotta go slow. But she really means no harm. And Alyssa, she's amazing. They both are. They just, gotta get used to her. The first night she came home and she was crying and crying. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. This is something new. Like, I've never been a mom before. And then she woke up the twins and I was like, well, you gotta go to school tomorrow. So come give her a kiss and tell her good night and have sweet dreams. So, I don't know. It's been a good 1 week. I keep trying to catch her smiling because she got 2 dimples like my mom. But every time I pull out my phone, she don't want to be captured. I don't want to. But this is Amira Rose Ellis, and that's her cesarean section story. Gotta do the girls. I keep saying that, I know, right? I have some time on my hands, so maybe I will for real. She's snoring. Say bye-bye, Chunky.